is really wide. He's a big guy to begin with, so there's not a lot of net to shoot at behind him.
At the face-off stripe, Joe Nardella might have been the cream of the crop in the PLL ever since it started back in 2019, going up against the rook, Zach Tucci.
He's second in the league behind potential MVP Trevor Baptiste, but Zach Tucci as a rookie, 50%. Wow.
I love this Twitter poll. It's tight. 52% say the Whips win again. In a 4-0 versus 1-3 matchup, you don't expect it to be that close. But this Waterdogs team is dangerous, and they win the opening draw with Zach Currier.
This is what he does. You want him on a wing? 77 delivers. You need a goal, he'll get underneath you.
The most well-rounded player in the league.
As he should be. He's one of those guys. Little camp kids, right? They have a game at the end of a session that's overtime. They call it Braveheart. You get one guy to face off against each other. Pinpoint accuracy type dishes.
Early 2-0 lead for the Waterdogs. Whipsnakes fans not panicking. They have trailed at halftime in all 4 of their wins this year. 4-0. He's a highly touted recruit out of Loyola Blakefield in Towson. Number 2 pick in the 2019 draft. Who went to the Waterdogs in the expansion draft. He makes it 3-0 here in this first quarter.
Now it is fully sunset, so it shouldn't be an issue going forward, guys.
Sun's real. You could never be a goalie. You're afraid of the sun and the ball.
Sun bad, outside scary. I'm like Howie from Benchwarmers. Need SPF 75. Whipsnakes win the face-off. Waterdogs trying to track it down with Kieran McCardle all over it on the ride. 33, Matt Dunn took it away for the Whips. You check out the live odds. That tells you all you need to know about the Whipsnakes.
You know, you look at the Whips. They're 4-0. The only thing that kind of concerns you is how many turnovers they've had. They lead the league in that category. And the shooting percentage. Not a great shooting team. Today, borderline terrible, 1 for 20. Massive mustache by Ethan Walker. I haven't seen that out of him.
Throw that up against maybe Mike Manley for stash of the PLL. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. There's some glorious stashes in this league. Whipsnakes come right back. That's Connor Kirst. Foot was on the line, so it's a 1-pointer for Kirst.
Kirst is in an interesting spot today. No Ty Warner. They're down a man. Kirst has played offense his entire life outside of 1 year at Villanova, being a two-way guy. If you put him on the wings and you put him on defensive shifts in unsettled situations, he's 6'3", 225 pounds, and can absolutely hammer it. His play with no Ty Warner is critical today.
2 goals in 7 seconds. 1 for the Dogs, 1 for the Whips. 4-2 as Earhart scoops up the faceoff. Here comes Kirst. Yeah, they shifted him to defensive midfielder. What's he wearing around his neck? That's a Q collar. It's new innovative technology trying to prevent head injuries. The way it works is it pushes on the jugular veins to bring some more blood into the brain to avoid those severe brain movements, which leads
by Dylan Ward. It's the far pipe and low and away that Dylan Ward can't go to. That's where Brad Smith is so successful. He's one of the better midfield shooters on the run in this league.
Waterdogs on the move.
Throwing the ball his direction, and eventually we're going to get rewarded for that, guys.
I think they need to be very careful in terms of the angles and where they shoot. Like if they're shooting with low angles, the way that he's playing the pipes.
Woo! They start with a 2-ball. Brad Smith beats Ward down low. We're tied in Minnesota. So 14 seconds in, after all that talk about the Waterdogs, it's a tie ball game.
That's why you love the PLL. 2-goal game could be a 1-possession game with 1 shot from a midfielder like Brad Smith.
Whipsnakes have trailed at halftime in all 4 of their games coming into this week. It's 2 goals in 34 seconds for the Whipsnakes. 4-0 run across halftime. Tucci wins a faceoff for the Dogs.
Waterdogs defense, I'm forcing these guys away from the middle of the field on their dodges.
Nardella right in front. Khan denied by Dylan Ward. 2019 national champ at Virginia, out of Timonium, Maryland. Nardella on the face-off win. Whips wasting no time. Williams stopped by Ward.
Long stick midfielders I've ever seen. He's in the top 3 category of all time.
Who else you got? Off the dome? Putting you on the spot.
You can see on the sideline, he is icing that right thumb.
All right, great stuff, Chantel. Yeah, Dylan Ward was tremendous in the first half of the Waterdogs in his first PLL start of this season. Here comes Zach Tucci right off the face-off. The shot's wide.
Look, man, all face-offs aren't created equally. Nardella has been over 60% against Tucci, but Tucci has found spots in multiple games.
The shooters on this Waterdogs team are insane. McCardle, Brown, Hanna, Kelly, Courier. This is a shooting exhibition every time the Lavender takes the field. Earhart tracks down the faceoff. We're tied for the second time tonight. It was 5-5 in the third quarter. Minutes for the Waterdogs. You saw the live odds. The Whips were a pretty sizable favorite a couple minutes ago. Reese comes away with the faceoff for the Dogs. Zach Tucci coming up large.
Hard to track in terms of the way you want to hit him. And it's such a bang-bang play. There's no malicious intent there by Young. I'm not saying he's going out there trying to headhunt Sowers, but the reality, quick their releases from a direct overhand. They don't break stride at all. They snap it from high to low, and a goalie can't track it, and it's moving.
These guys are volume shooters, too. Chanenchuk has taken at least 7 shots now in 4 of 5 games. Whips win the draw. And Jim Stagnita, that was just ridiculous. Not even looking at the goal.
How good of a call is that from Stagnita, though? Because we saw more Keegan Khan, who I think is very two-handed as well, to put Jackson Reed in that spot when he hasn't had,
That shot was sick. Had some spice on it. Nardella wins the draw for the Whipsnakes.
Always gives you life. When you have 91, or you have 9 for the Atlas, you always have life in these types of games.